Most High in Christ, man. Shalom, Israel. This is an Israelite school, a universal practical knowledge. Started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commander General YAHANNA. Of course, what we teach is so-called blacksmiths and Native Indians are the true biblical Jews according to the Bible, according to archaeology. And of course, our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? Of course, you understand, we are still living within the last days. Of course, we've been prophesying this since 1969 under Commander General YAHANNA, and we are truly living. You understand, these are prophecies that is spoke about in Matthew 24. You understand, and all throughout the Bible. Something struck my eye, man. When I was doing a little research, you understand, before doing class, I believe it's called. Give me 1 second here. Let me take care of some off class stuff. That actually caught my eye, man, and it was just it was more than merely 1 second here. More merely what they call what is it? Blackout Tuesday, where of course blacks is not supposed to, buy. Well, they're supposed to buy from all black businesses. You know what I'm saying? And of course, through our righteous leadership here within the UPK, you understand, we understand that, blacks, according to America, that does not include our Hispanic brothers, nor does it include our Native Indian brothers, man. You understand? So, of course, you understand, this is all centered around Black Lives Matter and, centered around the LGBT community, centered around America, you understand, because our oppressor, you understand, they are truly over Black Lives Matter in the LGBT community, you understand. So we are continually following after a nation that cannot save us, you understand. You know, so we are continually going after a nation that cannot save us, and truly don't want any, and they don't want anything to do with us as well. So like, good night. So I'm trying to come on now. I'm trying to get this mouse together. Y'all just give me 1 second here. All right, there we go. Hopefully that does it. There we go. You understand? So we continually going after, you understand, following after the customs of a nation that does not care about us whatsoever, man. You understand? Because of course, you understand, we understand throughout, biblical history and archaeology that blacksmiths and Native Indians are the biblical Jews according to the Bible and archaeology. You know what I'm saying? But on the contrary side, now we have, Black Lives Matter and, the LGBT community, going out to the point to say that, now, you understand, we have a Blackout Tuesday where we only spend, our hard-earned money on black businesses. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that does not include our Hispanic brothers, man, or sisters. That does not include our Native Indian brothers or sisters as well. You understand? So their whole agenda is just completely off when it comes to as far as supporting supporting black companies. You understand? They're looking at it from we didn't killed all these innocent black men and innocent black women. You understand? Let's try to make them feel somewhat better. You understand? Let's try to make them feel welcome in this hellhole. You understand? Because of course, black Spencer Native Indians, we are living in true hell. You know what I'm saying? But, mainly, you know what I'm saying, our oppressor, they're mainly talking to, you know what I'm saying, the so-called Judites, you know what I'm saying, that are being gunned down here in the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, like they just, it's almost like they want to pacify us, man. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they want to, um, 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 give us a alternative. I mean, like, try to throw out, like little altercations and, try to come up with a little whack solution. You know what I'm saying, on how, truly Black Lives Matter. No, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, Black lives only matter, you understand, when it's beneficial, you understand, for them. You understand? Because if they truly, you understand, if they truly, you understand, wanted to stand by that slogan, you understand, they will be saying, you understand, support your own every single day. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, oh, you know what? It's a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's not even, man, listen, man, Tuesday is not even, man, Tuesday is not even popping, you know what I mean? Like, necessarily. You know what I'm saying? I can see if it was on like a week, like a weekend or something like that, where, most Black Spanish and Native Indians, they are off that day, and they pretty much spend the most of their money on the weekend, you know what I'm saying, from working 40 plus hours at a slavery that they can't stand. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they want to go out, have a drink. You know what I'm saying? They're going to pick a Tuesday. You understand? And if you got a slavery, you understand, like myself, I mean, good night, man. You're in there from anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day. 10 to 12 hours a day, you know what I'm saying? You're slaving for our oppressor. And then now you have to go outside, you know what I'm saying? And now you have to support a Black-owned business, which is probably closed, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, you know what I'm saying, they want to get back to their families, you understand? So, I mean, like, they pick it's just a, I don't know, like, it's just like a day that I don't want to say that, like, not necessarily matters, but it's just like a day that they just threw out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's just give them this day, and tell them to support themselves on this specific day, man. July 7th of 2020. Here's what we're gonna give them. You understand? Tell them to only support themselves, man. No, man. Listen, man. We need to truly care for our brothers and sisters. Of course, how the slogan is Black Lives Matters. You know what I'm saying? When we include Black lives, we mean Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? And of course, you know what I'm saying, how people like to say, oh, like color is very important. You know what I'm saying? Of course, color is very important. You know what I'm saying? And we're not, necessarily speaking. We're not, speaking about, like the so-called Africans or the so-called East Indian. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them are blacker than us. So no, man. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about as far as nationality. You know what I'm saying? The Judites all the way down to the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? And including the the Seminole Indians. You know what I'm saying? And the Gadites. You know what I'm saying? All that in between as well, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we mean. You know what I'm saying? When we say blacks, you know what I'm saying? We're not talking about as far as America perceives it. No, man. We're looking at it from a biblical standpoint, man, and how we should truly care for one another, man. You know what I'm saying? We should be buying, you know what I'm saying? We should be buying from ourselves every single day, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a Israelite club here, here in Greenville, South Carolina. Now, me personally, you know what I'm saying? It is like a younger crowd. I say anywhere from like 21 to like the 27 age range. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily my crowd. You know what I'm saying? But they have this food truck out there. You know what I'm saying? And it stays open as late as the actual club opens, and the club stays open to 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So of course, you know what I'm saying, me and some of the brothers down here, you know what I'm saying, we go out and we support that food truck, man. And we try to hit it every single Saturday because the club is only open on Saturdays, you understand? So we try to hit that club every single week, man. You know what I'm saying? Get like a lingua quesadilla, chicken tacos, lingua tacos, and support that sister, man. You know what I'm saying? And she got that thing seasoned to perfection, man. You know what I'm saying? With the salsa verde, you know what I'm saying? And we talking about real tacos, you know what I'm saying? With cilantro and onions. You know what I'm saying? Not like Taco Bell, you know what I'm saying? Which is, just stuff with cheese and, meat and, the America way of how, they perceive Mexican food. No, man, we're talking about that authentic Mexican food, man. You know what I'm saying? That we've been supporting, man, ever since we heard of it. You know what I'm saying? We can't get enough of it, man. We've been trying to look for the sister out during the week as well. You know what I'm saying? So we can continue to support her, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is what it's going to take, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take not only you know what I'm saying, one day out of the month, or I'm not necessarily if they do it every single week. No, man, this is going to take some time, man. You know what I'm saying? This is going to take some diligence in truly serving your people. You know what I'm saying? And truly caring for your people and truly supporting your people, man. You know what I'm saying? And to the hell with all these other nations, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a mindset that you have to have. You know what I'm saying? To really live by a slogan that Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? And of course, just like I said previously, you know what I'm saying, when we say blacks, we mean black Spanish and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Not just, blacks, you know what I'm saying, which they are very important. You know what I'm saying? But we cannot forget about our Israelite brothers. You know what I'm saying? We cannot forget about our Native our Native Indian brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? That is something that we cannot forget, man. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to forget that here in the I.S.U.P.K under Command Jenny Hanna, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that is something that is literally embedded throughout our mindset, man. All throughout our understanding and all throughout our lifestyle, man. Is to serve and to support our nation, man. You know what I'm saying? We have you know, some brother that have brothers and sisters that have jewelry lines. You understand? Clothing lines. You know what I'm saying? They sell it's a brother down there in Tennessee. If you have a sweet tooth, you understand, got cookie brownies, you understand, own coffee shops. Man, like the list goes on and on, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is the point, you know what I'm saying? Also here in Greenville, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? It's to the point where, you know what I'm saying, like the brothers down here, well, let me see here. I know, you know what I'm saying, myself and a couple other brothers, you know what I'm saying. Of course, the brothers that don't live in this area don't particularly know about it. But here in Greenville, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying, we have a flea market, man. You know what I'm saying, where the Israelites, man, they have fresh fruits and vegetables, man. You know what I'm saying, and that's where we get all of our fresh fruits and vegetables from, man. You understand? All throughout the tribes of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful, man. It is just so beautiful, man, to just be able to just see the brothers and sisters, man. And they not jacking up the prices, man, either, man. You know what I'm saying? They are looking out for one another, man. And that's truly what it's going to take, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's we even have Israelite owned restaurant grocery stores down here, you know what I'm saying, that I shopped at, you know what I mean, like way more than I shop at, your normal grocery stores. Down here we got Bilo, Harris Teeter, which is like Kroger's, Sam's Club, Walmart, Target. I mean, man, good night, man. You know what I'm saying? We have Israelite restaurants and grocery stores, you know what I'm saying, that we're able to support down here, man. And it's just so beautiful, man, to just see them, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they, don't, as far as has the understanding, what, how we perceive how beautiful it is to support one another. You know what I'm saying? But man, just to see them in there working, working hard for their families, you know what I'm saying, working hard for themselves, better themselves. Man, it's only right to, you know what I'm saying, give them our hard-earned money, man. It's only right to, man, you know what I'm saying, so that they will be able to support themselves and their families, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that it's going to a good cause, you know what I'm saying? I know that it's going to, be beneficial for someone else within the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to, have embedded within our mindset and understanding that, don't minimize this, the blackout to, blackout Tuesday to just one day, man. No, man, do this continually, man. You know what I'm saying? Do it, man, continually, man. 2, 3 times out of the week, man. 3, 4 times out of the week, man. If you can, man. Continue to do it, man. Day in and day out, man. You know what I'm saying? It is going to be beneficial for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? And it may be an opportunity, of course, if you are a seasoned, you know what I'm saying, to be able to fish brothers and sisters in, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just pass them a flyer, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how groundbreaking you know what I'm saying, like that would do for them. You know what I'm saying? Some of the some of the tribes, you know what I'm saying, like they don't have, as far as the understanding that they are of Israel, man. You understand? So we have, multiple, flyers that says and gives the breakdowns of, the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? And they will be able to see their tribe next to that. And then they'll want to question. You understand? And then they'll be able to call the number on that phone. And then they'll be able to get the breakdown of it, man. And the understanding of it, man. You understand? Then they'll be able to come to class. And then we'll be able to raise our brothers and sisters righteously, man. You know what I'm saying? Up under this banner, man. Under Commander Jenny Hanna, man. That's how you make a true change, man. You know what I'm saying? Action, man. You know what I'm saying? Change is an action word. You know what I'm saying? You just can't, say that, oh, just for instance, I'm gonna change my pants. You know what I'm saying? And you currently have some blue jeans on. You know what I'm saying? And you said that you're gonna change your blue jeans. You know what I'm saying? And you got a particular brand on, and you said that you're gonna change it to black jeans, and you come out with the same blue jeans that you had on, the same ones that you started off with, man. No, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to perform an action. You know what I'm saying? Behind change, man, it's an action, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of, as far as us, as far as Black Spanish and Native Indians, you know what I'm saying? We look to another nation, man. You know what I'm saying? For the matter of fact, let me go to that scripture actually, man, because that's it's just so biblical, and it's like literally right in front of our eyes, man. Let me see. Shoot, 1 second here. So one moment here. Of course, like always, if you got any questions or comments, please type them in, and we'll be able to, I'll be able to get to those accordingly. Lamentations 4:17. 1 second, I'm gonna pull this scripture, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause this scripture is just so evident, and you know what I'm saying, the time frame, and you know what I'm saying, that we're living in right now. So this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, of course, talking about Black Spanish and Native Indians, you know what I'm saying? Because of course, all throughout this Bible, it talks about Israelites, you know what I'm saying, Hebrew Israelites, or the 12 tribes of Israel, or the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the Israelites. And as for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always, you know what I'm saying, need some type of help. You know what I'm saying? We always need, you know what I'm saying, some type of guidance. Let me read that from the top. As for us, our eyes has yet filled our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us, man. You know what I'm saying? We are looking up to America. You know what I'm saying? We're looking after their customs, and you know what I'm saying, after their theology, you know what I'm saying, and after their doctrine, You know what I'm saying? The doctrine of America. And it says right here, it says for a nation that cannot save us, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're truly looking after, man. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about Blackout Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? That's what they truly say, man. You know what I'm saying? They truly, I mean, like what they really want to say is, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what I'm saying? All y'all do is whine, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and give you this date, man. You know what I'm saying? All y'all do is, all y'all do is cry and, y'all out, like acting, acting wild and, just loud and, looting and, rioting. Man, let me just go ahead and put a band-aid on this, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and make a day, you know what I'm saying? It's like to make them feel good inside where they'll be able to support one another, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit like it. Shit like it. You know what I'm saying? Let me just go ahead and let me just go ahead and just say, oh, you know what, we are truly deeply sorry for all the killings that that have happened to your nation. You know what I'm saying? Let's just minimize it, and and let's just give a little nug on the shoulder, to show just to show you guys that not all of us are bad. You know what I'm saying? Like how they saying they're saying not all cops are bad. You know what I'm saying? That's how they doing this, man. You know what I'm saying? They are saying not all Americans or not all of our oppressors are bad, man. You know what I'm saying? When they try to divert our mindset as far as the rioting and the looting, you know what I'm saying? Because of course we haven't heard too much about the rioting and the looting since all of this have came up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's an agenda to America, man. Yeah, I mean, like, America has an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Of course, to stop us. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into an article here shortly. You know what I'm saying? They have an agenda. You know what I'm saying? When they see that we are, bringing a little tip of awareness to them. You know what I'm saying? And revealing them that they are the true devils that the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? They try to, make it seem like, oh, we're not all bad, or it's okay to join hand in hand with us, man. No, man, it is truly not okay to join hand in hand with our oppressor, man. I mean, literally, man, what has it done for a black man or Hispanic man or Native Indian man or a black woman, a Hispanic woman, or a Native Indian woman? What has it done for us as far as trying to join hand in hand with them, man? What has it gained for our communities, man? Let's truly ask ourselves that, man. What has loving America done for the black community? You know what I'm saying? And if you want to take it just a little bit more deeper and personal, what has loving America done for you, man? You know what I'm saying? We just had this heathenistic, 4th of July, man, which is just all, man, it just have slavery up and down, up on it, man. You know what I'm saying? Who independence were you truly celebrating, man? Or were you just celebrating because you had the day off work? Or, you know what I'm saying, were you just celebrating it, for the kids? You know what I'm saying? You have the fireworks for the kids, you know what I'm saying? You put your pork hot dogs and your pork ribs and your sausages, pork sausages, all on the grill, man. For what, man? Yeah, baked beans with the ham in it. You got your collard greens with the ham hocks in it. All for what, man? All for what, man? You know what I'm saying? The scripture says, you know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing, the unrighteous prayers, you know what I'm saying, they won't even be heard, man. They're not even going to be heard, man. So if you're out here, you know what I'm saying that, oh, you're all for black people, you know what I'm saying, but on the other hand, you know what I'm saying, you're just doing all these abominable things knowingly. You know what I'm saying, knowing that we have our dietary law. You know what I'm saying, knowing that that we're supposed to be separate from all these other nations, knowing that we are above all these other nations, man. That matter. You know what I'm saying? It's within It's within our DNA, man. It's within our spirit, man, to know that we are above all these other nations, man. But America has brainwashes, man. You know what I'm saying? America has truly, man, truly whitewashed our our whole DNA, man, and has pumped their DNA within our brain, within our blood vessels, man. You know what I'm saying? All throughout our mindset, man. They are just continually to pump their ways on black Spanish and Native Indians, man. This is this is what they've been doing, man, for over 400 years, man. And isn't it a point in time where we just have to just just literally just sit back and think like, man, like we truly need to get and understand it and literally, man, awake, just like the scripture says, man, arise, man, and understand, man, what is truly going on in this place. You know what I'm saying? America is literally crumbling before our eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? That second wave of the COVID-19, man, is just literally peeking at the door, man. You know what I'm saying? Some states they even went to the point where they are actually closing their states back, man. This is a serious time right now, man. This right here, this is very time sensitive that black Spanish and Native Indians come together, man, and go away from America ways, man. Literally, just literally in a blink of an eye, man. Just turn your eyes away from them, and literally turn all of your focus, all of your energy, all of your funds. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you have, man, have it for, of course, you know what I'm saying, for yourself to make sure that that you're financially stable, and if you can, support your own, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so many black owned restaurants, man, all throughout America. It's so many black owned clothing stores out through America, man. And hygiene, man, which is one of our biggest things, man, in Israel. Man, hygiene is one of our biggest things in Israel, man. You got body butters, you got the homemade soaps, you know what I'm saying, the body oils. Like the what is it? The bath foams for the females. It's just so many other ways, man, that we will be able to overcome America, man. I mean, like the list goes on and on, man. You see, and not only that, man, we have all of that here in the I.S.U.P.K, man. You know what I'm saying? We have, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, we have brothers and brothers, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, that actually sell food, man. You know what I'm saying, whether it's sweets, you know what I'm saying, coffee, cookies, you know what I'm saying, clothing stores to the galore, you know what I'm saying, body oils, you know what I'm saying, body butters, um, 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 what's that, good grief, man, the bar soaps. I mean, like, the list goes on and on, man. You know what I'm saying, where you'll be able to support your own, man. You know what I'm saying, go on ISUPK.com, you know what I'm saying, click on shop, you know what I'm saying, and you'll be able to see everything on there, man. You know what I'm saying, click on go on Facebook, you know what I'm saying, look up I.S.U.P.K, you know what I'm saying, all the other websites, you know what I'm saying, that you will see on I.S.U.P.K on ISUPK.com. You know what I'm saying, just go down the list, man, click it and support it, man. You know what I'm saying, it's better than clicking on Amazon.com and clicking on Target, clicking on Walmart, clicking on Macy's, and all these quote unquote well known clothing stores. No, man, do something different for change, man. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we talked about earlier how a change is an action word. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man, do something that's going to benefit your brothers and sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to benefit your nation, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the uprise of the 12 tribes and the downfall of all these other nations, man. Do something beneficial, man. I'm gonna read the scripture one more time. And as for us, our eyes have yet failed our vain help in our watching. We have watched for a nation that could not save us, man. Could not save us, man, whatsoever. Let me see if I still have this article or should allow you. Um, so this is history.com. Tulsa's Black Wall Street flourished as a self-contained hub in the early 1900s, man. Black man, listen, it was so, and we're gonna get it throughout the article, but I'm just gonna, just do this for time's sake because it is a few scriptures that I do want to get in. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, Black Wall Street, it was to the point, man, where they were just like the article was saying, man. They had so much greatness throughout this little community, man, and they were just it was to the point where they literally did not have no reason to spend outside of their own community, man. Outside of their own community. Read this again. So it says once again this is history.com. It says the headline is Tulsa's Black Wall Street flourished as a self-contained hub in the early 1900s. Greenwood Avenue featured luxury shops, restaurants, movie theaters, a library, pool halls, and nightclubs. Before the Tulsa Race Massacre, where the city's black district of Greenwood was attacked by a white mob, resulting in 2 days of bloodshed and destruction. The area had been considered one of the most affluent African American communities in the United States for the early part of the 20th century. The massacre, which began on May 31st, 1921, and left hundreds of black residents dead and thousands of houses destroyed, often overshadowed the history of the vulnerable black enclave itself. Greenwood District, with a population of 10,000 at the time, had thrived as the epicenter of African American businesses and culture, particularly on Greenwood Avenue, commonly known as Black Wall Street. Goes into how it was developed. Founded in 1906, Greenwood was developed on Indian territory. The vast area where Native American tribes had been forced to relocate, which encompassed much of modern-day eastern Oklahoma. Some African Americans who had been former slaves of tribes and subsequently integrated into tribal communities acquired allotted land in Greenwood through the Dawes Act as U.S. law that gave land to individual Native Americans, and as many black sharecroppers fleeing racial oppression relocated to the region as well in search of better life post-Civil War, man. So that tells you right there, man. Not only was it, just black people, but it was literally founded in Indian territory, man. Meaning that the Native Indians or the Seminole Indians, or the other Indians that's within the 12 tribes of Israel, this were their territory. This is something that that they were proud of. That they were able to gain, man. And it did say that some African Americans, of course, We all know that that means so-called black man, or a black woman or black child. You know what I'm saying? Who had been former slaves of the tribes, had subsequently integrated into tribal communities, man. Meaning, man, that we were getting along with one another, man. What a coincidence, man. Native Indians and other tribes, other 12 tribes of Israel, getting along together, man. All on territory that was righteously theirs, man. Something that they had earned, man. Think about if, you understand, of course, they did, I'm not for certain if they, in the process of getting ready to pass another stimulus check or do another round of checks. But imagine, man, if all black Hispanics and Native Indians just gathered all of their money together and bought land and was able to just build our own community, man. Just imagine how righteous that would be, man. And of course, you know what I'm saying, they talk about the massacre, man. But listen, man, we have true warriors here, man. You know what I'm saying? Here throughout the I.S.U.P.K, man, we have true warriors in here, man. You know what I'm saying? And of course, all of this will have to be approved. You know what I'm saying? Through the man of high ranks, man. But just let your mind, you know what I'm saying, just wander off into how beautiful that would be, man. If we were just able to just gather all of our money and just say, you know what, man, listen, man, I like, you know what I'm saying, how Black Wall Street, you know what I'm saying, like they handled, you know what I'm saying, how they wasn't able to, circulate any money outside of their own community, man. You said, let's give that a try, man. Let's give our funds to the I.S.U.P.K, man. Let's give our funds to Commander General YAHANNA, and let's let him build our nation back up, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's allow him to take all the money that I was going to spend on marijuana or drinks or at the strip club or just a lot of foolishness, fools and Jordans and shoes and just a whole bunch of nonsense. Let me just go ahead and get that money to him and let him do something that's going to flourish the kingdom, man. You know, so just like Black Wall Street flourished, allow Commander General YAHANNA, man, to take your funds, man, and allow him to let it flourish through the I.S.U.P.K, man. Okay, I talked about the territory. I'm gonna keep on reading. Oklahoma begins to be. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Oklahoma begins to be promoted as a safe haven for African Americans who start to come, particularly post emancipation, to Indian territory. Says Michelle's Place, executive director of the Tulsa Historical Society and Museum. The largest number of black townships after the Civil War were located in Oklahoma between 1865 and 1920. African Americans founded more than 50 black townships in the state, man. Over 50, man. Over 50, man. From the time frame of 1865 to 1920, man. Over 50 townships, man. Over 50 communities in the state of Oklahoma, man. Man, that's beautiful, man. That is beautiful, man. And think about how they did that, man. You know what I'm saying? They had to save up some money, man. You know what I'm saying? They had to. This is definitely going to hurt a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? They had to put their trust in someone that is in a little higher stature than them, man. You know what I'm saying? They had to literally, man, put all their trust in this man. You know what I'm saying? That they probably barely knew, but they believed in his mission. They believed in his plan. They gave him all his money, and then boom, 50 states, black township. Well, so like it, 50 townships within the state of Oklahoma, man. Good night, man. And some of them were probably, you know what I'm saying, owned singularly, man. Meaning by one person, man. just think of everything that we couldn't do, man, when we truly, man, put our trust in a man of a high stature, man. You said, allow Commander YAHANNA to think for you, man. Allow the priests and prophets here within the I.S.U.P.K to think for you, man. You understand? We understand, you understand, that America is just beating you down and continually beating you down, man. But we have the solution for all that, man. We have the solution for it, man. Literally, man. Drop everything that you're doing, man, and come within these classes. Continue to check in, man. Continue to get these breakdowns. Continue to enjoy the brotherhood and sisterhood, man. Just continue to, soak it all up, man. Because it's truly beneficial, man. Not only for yourself, but for your family, man. Your loved ones, your true loved ones, man. And that's exactly how it should be. I'll read that again. The largest number of black townships after the Civil War were located in Oklahoma between 1865 and 1920. African American founded more than 50 black townships within the state. O.W. Gurley, a wealthy black landowner, purchased 40 acres of land in Tulsa, naming it Greenwood after the town, Mississippi. So O.W. Gurley, who was a very wealthy landowner, purchased 40 acres of land, man. 40 acres of land is pretty big, man. Built for black people by black people. Another headline. Gurley is credited with having the first black business in Greenwood in 1906. He had a vision by creating something for black people by black people, man. Doesn't that sound good, man? That is just literally music to my ears, man. You know, when someone has the drive to literally say and not only have a vision of it, but being able to have everything down on paper, and then you'll be able to, and then you actually put some action toward what you actually wrote down. Man, that is literally music to my ears, man. Soothing music, man. Successful music. You understand? That is very, very successful, man, for this brother right here to be able to think only for his people, man. Gurley stated, I'll keep on reading. Gurley stated, with a boarding house for African Americans, the word began to spread about opportunities for blacks in Greenwood, and they have flocked to the district. O.W. Gurley would actually loan money to people who wanted to start a business. Good night, man. Now listen, that is very hard for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to do now, man. If you are, very high wealthy, man, and you have, and you're to the point where you actually have money where you'll be able to, you'll be able to loan someone, 10, 15, $20,000 for them to start their own business, and then of course it's going to flourish because you have your own community, and then like once they have the money back, they'll be able to pay you back, man. Man, once again, man, that's music to my ears, man. When I hear how successful this place truly was, man, and how the brother, he actually took money out of his earning, out of his hard work, to help someone else, to feed someone else, to house someone else. Music to the ears, man. You know, that is a true, man, listen, man. And we've been doing it here, of course, here within the I.S.U.P.K, man. Commander YAHANNA has fed people, man, has housed people, paid people rent. I mean, good night, man. The list goes on and on, man. The list goes on and on. This brother said, man, he will actually loan money to people who want to start a business. They actually had a system where someone who wanted to own a business could get help in doing it. So literally, not only is he's not only was he actually giving people money, he was giving them the blueprint on how to have a successful business within their own community, man. That is literally beautiful right there, man. You know, so that shows you how it's like you know, so that shows you how important, man, true black love is, man. This brother did not have to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? This brother did not have to do that, man. But he's seen exactly what slavery did to them, man. He's seen exactly you know, what I'm saying, how broken they truly was, man. And how truly successful within themselves they were, man. And he put it all together, man. He put it all together, man. As he should, man. As he truly should. I'm gonna read that again, man, because that is very, very heavy, man. O.W. Gurley would actually loan money to people who wanted to start a business. And this is Christy Williams, Vice President of the African American Affairs Commission in Tulsa. They actually had a system where someone who wanted to own a business could get help in doing that. Other prominent black entrepreneurs follow suit. J.B. Stratford, born into slavery in Kentucky, later becoming a lawyer and activist, moved to Greenwood in 1868. He built a 55-room luxury hotel bearing his name, man. The largest black-owned hotel in the country in 1898, man. The largest black-owned hotel in the country. An outspoken businessman, Stratford believed that blacks had a better chance of economic progress if they pooled their resources, man. And of course, when they say pool the resources, it means putting everything together, man. You understand? You know a brother that's a lawyer. You understand? Let's bring him on team. You understand? You know a brother that's that's a financial advisor. Let's go ahead and bring him in. You understand? You know a person that's an actual businessman. Let's just go ahead and bring him in, man. You know a nurse. Let's go ahead and bring her in. You understand? You know someone that's that that's good with kids. You understand? Have all the certification needed. Let's go ahead and bring them in as well, man. You understand? You know a pilot. Let's go ahead and bring him in as well. They pulled all their resources together, man. They pulled all of their resources together, and bam, man, Black Wall Street was a success, man. Black Wall Street, man, is one of the well-known, talked about, not necessarily talked about. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely well known for how successful they were, but more importantly, how they only dealt with one another, man. How they only dwelt within the 12 tribes of Israel, man. That's what's so beautiful about it, man. That's truly what's so beautiful behind all of this article, man. All throughout these classes, man. All throughout, man. Listen, man. They, man. Listen, man. They exemplify brotherhood and sisterhood to a T, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know any Jake in the world, man. That's going to loan you some money to start your own business, man. And not only do that, but give you the blueprint of on how to successfully run your business, man. Not a lot of people that are like that, man. Not a lot of people are truly like that, man. they're just not. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, America has truly brainwashed us to hate one another, man. You know what I'm saying? And not love one another. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily as far as be separate from one another, but just um, not to deal with one another. You know what I'm saying? Always bring up trust issues, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been on plenty business, adventures with fellow black, quote unquote fellow black leaders, man. And leadership always got me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just literally just a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, sitting in a room with a lot of money, but just no leadership, man. It's pretty much brothers and sisters just saying, oh, I got more money than you. You know what I'm saying, indirectly. So I should be the leader. No, man, not at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of the brothers and sisters, man, of course, throughout Black Wall Street, man, they didn't have anything, man. But they knew that they wanted to own a business. You know what I'm saying? They had that vision. You know what I'm saying? They had the charisma to actually want to start a business for themselves. And they had the opportunity to do it, man, with no down payment, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what get a lot of black, like a lot of black people now. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you gotta have a credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a credit to be able to sign off on a home. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a credit card, or you gotta have that perfect credit score to just even think about filling out an application. So forget about it, man. Truly forget about it, man. Truly forget about it. Let's go and keep on reading. Another headline: Greenwood became self-contained and reliant. A.J. Smitherman, a publisher whose family moved to Indian Territory in the 1890s, founded the Tulsa Star, a black newspaper headquartered in Greenwood that became instrumental in establishing the district's socially conscious mindset. The newspaper regularly informed African Americans about their legal rights and their court ruling and legislation that were beneficial or harmful to their community. Demand for equal rights were an ongoing mission for blacks in Tulsa, despite Jim Crow oppression. Greenwood itself had a railway truck running through it that separated the black and white population. Consequently, Gurley in a Sanford vision of having a self-contained and a self-reliant black economy came to be not only by desire but by logistics. I'm gonna keep on reading. As a practical matter, they had no choice as to where to locate their business, said Johnson. Tulsa was rigidly segregated, and Oklahoma became increasingly racist after statehood. On Greenwood Avenue, there were luxury shops, restaurants, grocery stores, hotels, jewelry and clothing stores, movie theaters, barbershops, salons, a library, pool halls, nightclubs, and offices for doctors, lawyers, and dentists. Greenwood also had its own school system, post office, and savings and loan bank, hospitals, and bus and taxi service, man. I'm going to go down this list one more time, man. They had luxury shops, restaurants, grocery stores, hotels, jewelry, clothing stores, movies, movie theater, barbershops, and salons, library, pool hall, nightclubs, and offices for doctors, lawyers, dentists. Greenwood also had his own school system, which is very, very important. Yes, and of course, with the upbringing of blacksmiths and native Indians these days, man. You understand? They need to truly learn, of course, throughout the I.S.U.P.K, man. You said that should be their homeschooling, man. Of course, you understand, taking them, to be homeschooled, or taking them to the public school system, man. That's not necessarily going to be beneficial to them, man. You understand? Of course, brothers and sisters here within UPK, we got degrees upon degrees upon degrees, and we say, man, once we understood this Bible and how to overcome America. Listen, man, that's the best type of education anyone can have, man. That is the best education, man. The best education, man. So yeah, man, they had all of that, man. Banks. Good night, man. Hospitals, taxi services. They had all of that, man. All within a community, man. And it's also all Oklahoma called Greenwood, man. And why not, man? And why not, man? I believe that they left out that they had let me make sure that they had their own airport as well too, man. I believe that was left out, but but I read multiple articles where it stated that they had their own airport, where they were able to drive private, so because they had a pilot within their community. Greenwood was home to far less affluent African Americans as well. A significant number still worked in menial jobs such as janitors, dishwashers, porters, and domestics. The money they earned outside of Greenwood was spent within the district. You understand? So Greenwood was I'm gonna read that from the top. Greenwood was home to the less affluent African Americans as well. A significant number still worked in menial jobs, meaning that they actually worked outside of their own community. It says janitors, dishwashers, porters, and domestics. The money they earned outside of Greenwood was spent within Greenwood, man. It is said within Greenwood, every dollar would change hands 19 times before it left the community, man. 19 times, man. They had a circulating, money, man, and it said it would literally, man, would touch hands 19 times, man, before it left the community, man. Good night, man. A time for racial violence, of course, and that goes into, how they pretty much killed us, man. I'm gonna try to see how long. Okay, so this article is not too much long, so I'm gonna continue to read this article. Like, one moment here. Okay, here we go. One moment here. Here we go. It wasn't long before the affluent African American attracted the attention of local white residents who resented the upscale lifestyle of people they deemed to be an inferior race. I think the word jealousy is certainly appropriate during this time. If you have particularly poor whites who are looking at a prosperous community who have large homes, fine furniture, crystal, china, linens, etc., their reaction is they don't deserve it, man. So after blacks, it seemed like it was primarily blacks and Native Indians, You understand? But we're gonna say, you understand, the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand how they were literally, man, in their homes, man, in their big mansions. You understand? Um, not spending a dollar outside of their community. You understand? They had the finer things in life, man. Whether it was furniture, you understand, cars, they had it all, man. You understand? Because their community was literally booming, man. You understand? They had so much money, and for time as well too, man. I mean, man, it was to the point, man, where the people that was actually working outside of Greenwood, they brought all their money back to the community, man. That is just beautiful, man. Let's see here. Yeah, it says that they do not deserve it. With the resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan, blacks in Greenwood fear racial violence and the removal of their voting rights. The Oklahoma Supreme Court for years routinely upheld the state's restriction on voting access for African Americans, subjecting them to the poll tax and in literacy test, and lynching proliferated across the country, particularly during the Red Summer of 1919, where anti-black riots erupted in major cities across the United States, including Texas, including Tulsa. If you haven't done your research on Red Summer of 1919, man, good night, man. That's another something that you want to look to in well too, man. You know what I'm saying? They just did our brothers and sisters just wrong, throughout that time frame. In response, the Tulsa Star encouraged blacks to take up arms and to show up at courthouses and jails to make sure blacks who were on trial were not taken and killed by white lynch mobs. Accusations of sexual assault ignite riots, of course. You know what I'm saying? But the heightening racial animosity in Tulsa erupted in 1921 when 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of attempted sexual assault of a 17-year-old white elevator operator named Sarah Page. When an angry white mob went to the courthouse to demand the sheriff hand over Rowland, the sheriff refused. A group of about 25 armed black men, including many World War I veterans, then went to the courthouse to offer help guarding Rowland. As word of possible lynching spread, a group around 75 armed blacks returned to the courthouse, where they were met by 1,500 whites. Man, good night, man. After clashing between the groups, the black men retreated to Greenwood. Mobs of armed white men then descended on Greenwood, looting homes, burning down businesses, and shooting black dead on spot. Man, good night, man. With millions of property damages and no help from the city, the rebuilding of Greenwood began almost immediately. Thanks to the assistance of NAACP, other black townships in Oklahoma, donations from black churches, and the resilient Greenwood community. However, some businesses like Tulsa Star newspaper permanently shuttered within the walks of violence. The Greenwood district still exists today, but after decades of urban renewal and integration, the area's demographics and business resembles little of its storied, past. So of course, this is still a place where you can still go, but it's mainly just like an actual historical site from from what I seen online and what I read about within the articles. You know what I'm saying? But we bring out this article, man, just to show you, man, how, of course, Blackout Tuesday, how it can be beneficial if we are truly on all the same page, if we are truly about our people, man. and not just, doing, what America tells us to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Not, in, and this is, I mean, it's not funny, man, but, then again, I mean, like, you kind of gotta think, like, man, who literally put them up to this, man? Who literally put them up to this, man? Um, who literally put them up? Who literally put them up to this, where they can just literally say, "Oh, we're gonna give you this one day, man. This one day, man, where you'll be able to, um, you know, just quote unquote, flourish like Black Wall Street did. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want you to get over carried away. You know what I'm saying? Just do it this day only. You know what I'm saying? Still celebrate our holidays, which of course blacks, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? We did. You know what I'm saying? Because we are under oppression. You know what I'm saying? And of course, a lot of people say that it's quote unquote for the kids, and these are my only days off. You know what I'm saying? Where I'll be able to see my family. No, man. Think about how it could truly be, man, if we were just to literally, come together, man. Come together in, one group. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take much, you know what I'm saying, for Black Wall Street to flourish. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. So like, one moment here. Yeah. So yeah, just imagine how we'll be able to look outside and just see, man, it's just so many black businesses out here, so many, we're just, man, like we're just, I mean, we got our own mansions, you know what I'm saying, we got our own restaurants, or our nightclubs, our own school system, you know what I'm saying, so we don't have to go to them for anything, man. We don't have to go to them for anything, man. Just imagine how glorious and how real that will be, man. You said that's going to take, man, a lot of brotherhood, a lot of sisterhood, and guidance from the priests and prophets here in the I.S.U.P.K, man. That's the only way it's going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the only solution that is going to help us, man. You understand? Is if we come together, man, just like the scripture says, man, gather together, man. Yeah, gather together. In Zephaniah 2:1, it says, gather together. Yeah, gather together. Oh, nation that's not desired, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, man, we are truly not desired, man, within this place, man. Our oppressor wants to see us fail, man. Our oppressor wants to see us fighting one another, killing one another, looting one another businesses, man. That's what they want to see, man. You know, they don't want us to see. They don't want us to come together, man. Just imagine, what was it called? Blackout Tuesday. Just imagine if that was every single day, man. Now, and they're supposed to have, like some type of, reasoning behind it, saying that, oh, let's just see how much we are going to truly hurt truly hurt the economy by not buying from them, man. Listen, man. The tales of America is poor and all this, man. No, man. Man, America has allies, man, that they'll be able to depend on, man. And all these foreign countries, you know what I'm saying, little countries, you understand that they, did for people in the wars, you understand that I still owe them, man. Listen, man, America is far from poor, man. You understand? America is far from broke, man. You understand? So, man, don't believe in all that, man. You understand? America will be just fine. You understand? By themselves. You said this is something that is that that should be truly centered around Black Hispanics and Native Indians, man. As far as coming together, as far as spending our own money within our own community, man. It don't even necessarily have to be like it was at Black Wall Street, man. We can just literally support one another, whether it's online, whether it's physically in their own restaurants outside of our community, man. Outside of our state lines, man. Drive, man. Go visit some of these, some of these Black-owned restaurants, man. Some of these Black clothing stores, man. Some of these, some of these hygienists, man. Go visit them, man. And support them, man. You don't necessarily have to, have it with, have it within your own community, man. Listen, man. By all means, do that, man. But just show that you truly do want to change. But of course, change comes with action. You have to truly, man. You have to truly be 2 feet in with it, man. Don't simplify it to just one day. Well, man, literally simplifying it to one day, literally. That's like a smack in the face, man. When I heard about that and I was reading up on this, I'm like, they have the audacity, man, to literally try to revert our minds around everything that is happening around us, man. And of course, Black Hispanics and Native Indians, we are still getting gunned down in the streets. We are still getting killed. We are still being raped. We are still, we are still missing, man. Over 64,000 and counting Black women and girls are missing, man. All this is still happening around us, man. So don't be fooled by their agenda. Because their agenda since 400, good night, man. For over 400 years, it's still the same, man. To destroy us, man. Just like the scripture says, man. The words of his mouth is smoother as butter, man. But war is in his heart, man. True war is in his heart, man. And that's what they want to do from us, man. And that's what they want to do to us. Like the scripture says, man, he was a murderer from the beginning, man. He's a cunning hunter in the book of Genesis, man. This is something that needs to come to, as far as Black Hispanics and Native Indians realization, man, that our oppressor and all these other nations, they truly do not care for us, man. They truly want us to see us suffer, man. They truly want us to hate one another, kill one another, look down upon one another, not donate to a brother or sister that wants to start their own business, and you give them to get the money in a blueprint, in a game plan on how successful their business is going to become, man. They don't want to see that, man. They truly do not want to see that, man. They would literally rather, man, rather and see, see separation throughout the nation, man. That's what they want to do. They want to see separation throughout the nation. When literally all we have to do is separate from them. All these other nations, the African nation, the so-called European nation, the East Indian nation, Japanese, Chinese, whatever the case may be, just separate from them, man, and we will be all good, man. You've seen how successful Black Wall Street was, man, and that one right there, that is just literally one of thousands, man, that were going on all around America, man. They had one up in Asheville, North Carolina as well too. Something similar to Black Wall Street, and in it the same way, but of course is now is nothing but so-called our oppressor that has overtook that area. You know what I'm saying? But that's how that's how much zeal we have to have, man. You know what I'm saying? We talk about I know I've talked about zeal within this classroom, on multiple occasions, man. How much zeal does a brotherhood, how much zeal does a brother need? How much zeal, does a sister need to be able to conquer a nation? Man, not a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot, man. Because a brother, man, down there in Black Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know what? I'm successful. You know what I'm saying? I'm making literally buku money to the point where I'll be able to purchase 40 acres of land and start my own business and see how successful it has become. Now to the point now what I'll be able to give back to the community, man. Give back to the ones that can't help themselves, man. That's truly what we need to do here. You know what I'm saying? Here in America, here in this hellhole, here while we living in these last days, this is what we need to be doing, man. We don't need to be all, you know what, man, listen, man, America about to give me 2,000, so America about to give me 4,600. I'm gonna go ahead and blow that on the new iPhone or the what they got with Android, the Galaxy, like the Note 6, the Galaxy 10, and it's just so many Galaxies, so many iPhones. It's like, man, think about what you'll be able to do, man. Just think about, you understand, as far as this if they do pass this new set of stimulus checks this next round, man. Think about, man, am I going to be helping the black community when I think about buying a 90-inch TV? You know what I'm saying? Or am I going to be able to help out the community if I'm if I buy a computer or a MacBook that's right at $1,200? You know what I'm saying? Will you be able to literally, man? Will you, man? Will you be able to overcome America while you're still giving America your currency, man? You know what I'm saying? It's like they quote unquote trying to settle everything down by giving us money and telling us to spend within themselves, but in all actuality, man, we're not gonna do anything but just give it back to them, man. Give it back to them, man. I remember on that first round of stimulus checks, man, some pastor, I forgot where he was at, man. He was saying, listen, I want y'all to give me all of y'all money. As far as for stimulus checks, I want y'all to give me every penny of y'all stimulus checks. Give them to me. and I'm listening and I'm looking, and reading the article, and I believe he actually really said that. He wanted us to give him his money, man. He wanted us to, just literally just give it to him, man. All of it, man. Not even 10%. Man, and that's all man YAHANNA is asking for, man. Just 10%. These Christian pastors, man, and I don't want to get off topic, man, but these Christian pastors, man, are filthy and disgusting, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to be separate from them as well, too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they are literally